Wow, what a day on Thursday. Oof, we saw some major gains. Haven't seen a day like this since, I think the day after the 2016 election. And even that day wasn't this crazy, except that day I kind of went in both directions. Huge 138 basis point gain early. Giant market reaction to the positive CPI report. Headline CPI came in at up 0.4 for the month on a 0.6 estimate. It was 0.4 previously. Year over year, it came in at 7.7% versus an 8% estimate was 8.2 previously. Core, which is the Fed favorite, was up 0.3 versus a 0.5 estimate. 0.6 previously. Year over year came in at 6.3 versus 6.5 estimate. It was 6.6 previously. However, let's keep in perspective that this is supposed to be around 2. Shelter costs rose by 0.8%, which was the largest monthly increase ever. Rents rose 0.7%. Energy was up 1.8%, which is 17.6% year over year. Food prices were up 0.6%, which is up about 11% year over year. Improving by 0.3% was seen as a big win. It matches the lowest core reading this year. Market is seeing this as a sign that the Fed actions are taking shape, that they are actually working and maybe giving them ammo to stop hiking rates sooner than later. And even in a month when fuel costs went up. So that's kind of a good sign, though. Let's keep in mind, like I said, these are still high year over year in monthly numbers. Yesterday's 10-year auction went at the highest yield in recent memory, but it still was met with extremely weak demand. So today's whipsaw was especially pronounced. Initial jobless claims came in at 225,000, which is up 7,000 versus last week. Continuing claims rose 6,000 to 1.493. Continuing claims have been rising recently, so it could mean that people are having troubles finding new jobs, which is a weird thing because we kind of need that to happen to quell inflation, but it's a sucky thing to have happen. So we're in this weird world where bad news is good news sometimes. Cue a 30-year bond auction today, which happened. The high yield came in at 4.08, more than 3 basis points lower than the 1 p.m. expectation. Very strong result. Bid to cover was 2.42 compared to the average of 2.27. Direct and indirect bidding were both stronger than average, leaving dealers with far less than their normal share. At the end of the day, we were up 191 basis points on the MBS, which blew us through about 3 new ranges, put us right on that Fibonacci line at 100.534. Weird, it stopped right at that line. The 10-year had a crazy day. It was down 27 basis points on the yield. Let's look at that graph. So that brought us all the way down from that condensing range that we had going on all the way down to the 50-day moving average, pretty close. Have to see how reaction is. Gotta imagine there's gonna be some profit taking come Monday since the market is closed tomorrow. We also got a post from our sponsor at WellThatMakesSense.com. We are said to pay attention, which plainly implies that the process extracts a cost. So this is a good thing to keep in mind because persuasion is all about how you can get somebody's attention without them realizing it before you seek to actually influence them. So persuasion is all about that. So check out the post and get people to pay attention. Like I said, www.wellthatmakessense.com. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, so we're taking the day off to thank all of our veterans, which includes several members of my family. So thank you to everybody out there that is a veteran. Then we'll go into next week where we're going to start off the week on Tuesday with producer prices. So this is going to be another read on inflation. So hopefully it follows suit with the CPI and is improving and reinforces that the Fed actions are working. If it goes the opposite direction, oh boy, it'll be interesting. Wednesday we get retail sales, which will also give an insight on if people are still spending money, which leads to inflation and a 20-year bond auction. And then on Thursday, we get the Philly Fed Business Index. So have a great long weekend, everybody. And if you get some time and you want to self-improve, check out our core influences and sponsors, WellThatMakesSense.com, as well as MBS Highway, MBS Live, Rob Chrisman, and all the ones listed here. And have a great and safe weekend.